This is Diana's nightstand. It's on the side of the bed closest to the washroom because that's what colorectal cancer will do to you. And it hasn't changed since March 17th, 2018. And on it, the things that are significant to me are, one, it's a picture of Diana with her son. There's a rosary which was given to Diana by my sister-in-law, and while Diana wasn't Catholic, she embraced spirituality and religion. In fact, I wear her mala, which is the yoga equivalent of a rosary and meditation aid. There's her watch, which she always needed to know what time it was. There's the flowers that were pure white and were brought by her friend to signify Diana's purity and whatnot. There's a little porcelain bell that for much of the last month or so, Diana was not far from bed, so if she needed me, she would ring the bell. And there's a little crystal angel there, which was Diana's angel. And we have some lavender oil of essence, or essence oil, which she loved, and a couple of pairs of glasses because she never remembered where her glasses were. So there's a couple pairs here and a couple pairs there, and that's Diana. Oh, and some of her chewing gum.
Yes. And what about the pennies? Is there significance to the pennies?
Well, other than we no longer have pennies, but she always got her 2 cents.
That's what makes it significant. I can't imagine what it would be like to even consider moving any of that. So picking up where you were saying, so you're sitting in the spot where Diana took her last breath.
Well, this is the room that Diana spent her last day. Clearly, she was very weak and had been that way for a week or 10 days. She just could not spend much time out of bed, which is why the washroom is right there. Here, her last day was spent here. We got up early in the morning, and I know the you know, what was that last day like? Mm-hmm. What was time like during that last day? And I got to tell you that it's not like it's a blur to me, but I have no sense of time, really, or feeling any particular moment. What was, you know, the Diane and I had basically made our peace the day before, the night before, and so my attention that whole day was basically on her and what did she need, what did she want. we had it planned so that family and friends, as they say, would come about 2, spend a few hours, and then the doctor would arrive. In fact, if there's any pearl of wisdom, it's be ready well before 2.
Oh.
Family and friends began to arrive before noon, not to impose on anything, but how can we help? And people wanted to be there to help. Diana got ready. You would not see her without her face, without her being properly dressed. So we got up early in the morning. I actually went out and went to the grocery store and got some food, trays of snacks and that for the day, and came back, and she had gotten dressed and gotten her makeup on, and was ready to receive her family and friends. And so, as I say, that began about noon, and then people would come up here. She was too weak to basically go downstairs. It was a constant flow of people. She was never alone. There were laughter and tears and stories remembered, and that's how time went by. And people obviously didn't spend the whole time with her. I didn't either. I wanted to allow her to have whatever private moments she wanted, particularly with her family, her son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter.
That must have taken a lot of selflessness from you, because I would imagine, even though you may have made your peace the night before and sort of had the chance to just be the 2 of you, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be so acutely aware of time ticking by and those being precious moments that you would have wanted to have. So that bravery that you spoke of to me, and the selflessness of it, sounds to me like this is one of the reasons you and Diana were so perfectly made for each other, because that day must for you have been a day where you needed to bring so much of that to her, and not just want to be, just glued to her for every second of that day.
Well, but I think you're right in that. I think is why we were so much in love, why we were so compatible, so together. And it's funny, in our 15 years, they were a dozen of them were in our retirement period, and even in our working periods, we worked at the same place.
Right.
So we were always together, and I think we appreciated those moments. And my feelings at the time, and still, are that this day wasn't about me. This was a celebration of her. It wasn't. Don't feel. I guess you feel sad for me, because this was coming to an end, but celebrate with her because this was her final day. And so, you know, everything that as I say, my attention was making sure that she got what she was hoping for, the experience, the celebration, the final moments with those that loved her. So as I say, it started about noon. The doctor was scheduled to be here at 6. And as I say, people were up and down and up and down. There was never a, what do we do next? You know, I mean, it all flowed. It was all there, kind of a thing, continuous. I told the doctor was a few minutes late, and she apologized when she got here, but that's fine. It was not important to me. It was a few more minutes that Diana had. So when the doctor arrived, and there are some procedural things that go on, the doctor came up and was alone with Diana because she had to make sure that Diana was mentally competent. She had to assure that this was Diana's wish to proceed. And so after that was done, those who had assembled here, you know, it's time. We're going to proceed, and you're certainly welcome. There was about 20 people here.
This would have been a crowded room.
Well, we opened the doors and the landing there, but people came in and surrounded the bed, and I was here. And but people were given a choice, and I know that, you know, people were here to celebrate Diana, that weren't comfortable with the decision to use maid,
Right.
and weren't comfortable to be in the room or here. So there were some that weren't here. Not everybody came. But the vast majority of people, even members of my family that, you know, are very very Catholic in their religion and don't support the concept of maid, but they were here to support Diana. And so we went about the procedure. Diana always, she was the phlebotomist's nightmare. Anytime she had to have blood drawn or whatnot, she had tiny veins, butterflies, you know. I think she got poked more for less blood than anybody, but so a couple days before, we had to go to the hospital, and she had a port put in to facilitate the injection of of the chemicals. And I think what was surprising, and the procedure, first she was given a sedation, so she was basically asleep when the, I think it's potassium or whatever is used to stop the heart. But the amount of syringes that were used, I think, was a bit surprising. It wasn't one shot, two shot, but it was a significant amount of syringes were used. After, the doctor got here a little after 6, probably 10 after 6 or so, and about 25 after 6, the injections and the final procedure. And just a couple minutes later, the doctor nodded to me that she was gone. And she was. And that's how her day ended. And there was a few things left that had to be done, but she was at peace. And I was at peace. And that's exactly what she wanted. Thank you.
Thank you.